Warren Fiscal Court, Friday, August 7th, 2020 is now called to order. I want to welcome all of you all here this morning and ask Esquire Mark Young to lead us in prayer. And I'd like to ask everyone to stand for the prayer and remain standing as Esquire Young will lead us in the pledge following.
You would bow with me. Lord, we thank you so much for the beautiful day that we have to enjoy. We thank you so much for life itself. God, we know that not only our country but the world is struggling with the COVID disease. We pray that you will extend your healing hand to everyone. We pray that the scientists, the doctors, all those that are involved in finding a vaccine will do that quickly and bless their work. God, we thank you so much for the wonderful county that we live in. We're blessed. So many are struggling. We thank you for the many businesses that operate here in Warren County. We thank you for all our department heads and our individuals that work for the county, all our employees that come to work every day. God, we thank you so much for the blessing of freedom, and we'll pray that we as elected officials will continue to do our part in protecting those freedoms. And pray for our government on all levels as they struggle through these tough times. God, at this time we thank you for our spiritual blessings, especially for Jesus and his willingness to die for us. God, we ask you now to be with us as we conduct the business of this county, and we always keep you in mind when we make these decisions. Forgive us for our sins. These things we ask in Christ's holy name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Here.
Esquire Payne.
Here.
Esquire Young.
Here.
Esquire Lawrence.
Here.
Esquire McWhorter. Here. Esquire Cummings.
Here.
Righty. Okay, we need to approve the minutes of the fiscal court meeting of July 24th, 2020. Everyone received a copy of the minutes.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Payne. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the next item is to approve work schedule for Warren County Road Department.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 6 is to approve personnel changes for Warren County.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next item is to approve Resolution 2016, consenting to Intermodal Transportation Authority, Inc.'s sale of number 862 of Section 4 of the Kentucky Tri-Modal Transpark Subdivision and partial cancellation of ground lease and lease related to said real property. Have a motion to approve by Squire Gorman, second by Squire Lawrence. discussion, or questions? There being none, please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for being here, Ms. Rosansky. Appreciate it. All righty. Now, if there are no objections, Mr. Comer has a presentation he'd like to give, and we're going to need to turn the lights out over here. Hope we don't have too much light coming in from the back. I guess,
Hopefully everybody can see that. If I start fogging up, I apologize. So if I get stuff wrong, it's because of the foggy glasses. So first and foremost, today we're going to talk about the tennis multipurpose facility. This is a project we've been working on with the Southern Kentucky Tennis Association, different community partners. As you all know, just over a year ago now, we did a feasibility study for several different facilities. One being a tennis facility, multi-purpose kind of complex, the other being a hockey rink. And so we had really good community feedback on that. Over the year, the world's changed quite a bit. So we've got this crazy pandemic, but on a positive note, recreation and community service and quality of life has become more important now than probably ever before. And so we have continued to work diligently on a project that we think is going to be a great long-term investment for the citizens of Warren County to enhance their quality of life, to provide different opportunities. And it's amazing to think that about 2.5, 3 years ago, we were here in front of Fiscal Court talking about new gymnasiums because we had a need by the public for those gyms. We have a current need right now for more space of that size for multipurpose sports. And so it's just an amazing thing to kind of be involved over the past 20 plus years now of being able to see the community grow. So with that, we do have representatives today from Southern Kentucky Tennis Association. Also, we've got representation. Matt Sewell, Daniel Whitley have been critical pieces in helping us do the engineering and architectural design for this. So today we bring to court our recommendation for the multi-purpose building. This building is an extremely large building. All of you, we've discussed this previously, but Mr. Gorman, got my little clicker here. Inside here, we have 6 indoor tennis courts. We also have 4 indoor racquetball courts. This facility will have the first ever indoor playground area that Warren County Parks will have. It also has 2 meeting rooms, 2 different sets of bathrooms, family restrooms, indoor-outdoor concession area, and actually our first restroom facilities that have showers in there for the general public. The cool feature about this building, which makes it unique for Southern Kentucky and this region, looking at southeast region of the United States, it's a tennis building, primarily number one. That's the purpose, that's the design of the building. However, it also serves as a multi-purpose feature. Each of 6 of these courts will be designed, if approved, to also serve as basketball and volleyball. We will also be making a recommendation to be able to convert the indoor playing surface to turf. In our little, our storage area over here, we'll be able to store all of these convertible floor pieces to enable this building to do so much more. Again, primary purpose tennis for the local tennis community, but also the added option to do considerably more with the building as time and space require. So, with that being said, this is kind of the blueprint of the building. This is the existing gym at Michael Buchanan Park. This is the additional parking that would be with the new facility. It would include 6 outdoor courts with adjacent parking. And as you can see, the existing gym and the size of the new building, the new facility is considerably larger. It's connected by an interlocking hallway, thanks to the design of Mr. Whitley and Mr. Sewell and all their component pieces. And then we get down to, and I don't know if you can see that or not, what the facility can provide to the public. We're in a different time. We're in a time of a pandemic, right? So to me, I try to make good out of difficult things. One of the good things that is coming out of the pandemic is we're getting phone calls every week at Basil Griffin Park that we don't have enough tennis court space. If you've seen our new pickleball courts, if you would have asked me a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, would we get to a point to where we would not have enough space for people wanting to play pickleball? And the answer to that question today is that we don't have enough room. And so this facility enables us to provide this level of service, which the pandemic has shown is in need, because there's 4 basic sports right now that you can play and socially distance in this country. One of them being golf, one of them being tennis, one of them being pickleball, and one of them being disc golf. And all 4 of those sports have really kind of exploded, so because people can social distance. What does this building again provide? 6 indoor tennis courts, the convertible piece of being able to convert those into 6 basketball, 6 volleyball, actually practicing soccer, practicing football inside the building, 4 racquetball courts, indoor playground, 2 meeting rooms, and an indoor concession, outdoor concession space, plus 6 outdoor tennis courts, which would enable the public to do different things and to allow the Southern Kentucky Tennis Association, which they are partnered for us for life, I think, that they're going to be able to do so much with this facility. So moving into the cost, we had 4, again, I'm sorry if you can't see this, but I'm fogging up and I can't see it myself. But we have 4 different vendors that submitted bids. Scott Murphy and Daniel is going to be the company that we're going to recommend today. They did have the low bid with the alternates. Sunbelt Construction also submitted a bid, Kelly Construction, and then Ware Construction. 4 very good competitive bids. And so all 4 companies did a tremendous job putting the information together. With that being said, we evaluated all the alternates. And basically kind of just walking through those, the alternate liner panels for the building, that will enable us to have liners similar to what we have in the gyms now, that will keep all the insulation behind the liner panel, helps protect it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Matt and Daniel, on any of this. Also, the drywall paint, it will be an interior feature that will enable us to have all the drywall inside the building painted, so that was an additional alternate. The grills and concessions, one of the big issues that we have in the existing gyms is we didn't make them big enough. So when we do have events and activities, which we do have concessions now, even amidst the pandemic for baseball and outdoor activities that we're offering currently modified right now. One of the things that we should have done, again, lesson learned, we should have had bigger grills and bigger concession space, and we've tried to do this in this design. The next option was to add 2 additional tennis courts to the outside of the building, which the base bid came in with 4. And talking with the tennis community, in order for us to get USTA events at the facility, we needed at least 6. And so we're asking that we accept that alternate and that recommendation. The next one is the indoor slab. We kind of weighed this back and forth. As you all can see in the previous slide, the building space is extremely large, okay? We were going to try to see what we could do with an asphalt-based surface. For the design purpose of it, again, Matt and Daniel, correct me if I'm wrong, at any point in time, we may have to do HVAC repair. There's a lot of hardware inside the building that's going to have to be inspected every year. With that being said, we need to have the option to be able to bring in a lift, inspect all that equipment, all the cabling, all the hardware, basketball goals, volleyball goals in the ceiling. And so we wanted to have a concrete floor with a USTA approved base. And so that is what that alternate is for in regards to the base. LVT flooring is a cleaning and cosmetic feature that we are putting into our existing structures now. The 2 new gyms have those in the front wear areas, and it really helps us out with cleaning, so we want to add that feature to help us with that. And then the last one, sorry, having to go back to my glasses, is having the artificial turf rolls. We need practice space for football. We've been approached by soccer groups, both locally and also through CVB, by having an indoor soccer practice area, indoor football practice area, where we could even do youth sports games. We're recommending that we go ahead and purchase those rolls so that we can provide that other activity if in the future, which we need it right now here in another month or 2 for football, that we could use for practice space. So our recommendation today is to recommend accepting of the low bid from Scott Murphy and Daniel in the amount of $8,284,240. With that being said, as you all, we've discussed before individually, is we will, as the owner, be making additional requests to court. These items were covered in the base bid for $730,000. The items listed here will be purchased direct by our department to help save county taxpayers money by purchasing these items directly through Kentucky price contract and then also Sourcewell pricing, which is a national conglomerate of discounted pricing that municipalities are available to utilize. So we use those both throughout the year. So these items will be coming back through court, but just know that is part of the base bid package. The other feature is we've talked about this, just to be completely transparent. First year of operation with operational cost. This will cost us approximately $479,000. This is a one-year cost. That will include additional equipment. We'll have to have a forklift. That's another reason for the concrete floor to move out the flooring tiles if and when needed. Also staffing, also custodial supplies. We're going to make some revisions to our custodial supplies to go in line with COVID. We're doing that today. There's some other items on the agenda that we're being very proactive to try to get our facilities to where we can make them the safest possible. Utilities are estimated at approximately $140,000, indoor-outdoor, staffing of $164,000 approximately. In regards to 4 part-time staff, 3 full-time staff with 1 manager, and then office equipment and other custodial supplies and equipment for the building inside, for the building interior. After that first year of operation, as we've discussed before, that number will probably go down to at least $400,000, hopefully closer to $350,000, just because we tend to we kind of live by trying to do the most that we can with the minimal amount of money needed. So we're confident that moving forward into year 2, that will be a lower number. So let's talk about just the overall figure of the project. When we started this a year and a half ago, look over here on the right, we've actually reached out to other community partners, and we've already got some things in the work with adaptive sports, if this project is approved, to actually have wheelchair tennis. So that's something cool we've just been working on within the past 10 days, trying to think ahead, trying to be proactive in our planning. But we started the project out at approximately $15 million when it came back to us with the feasibility study, with the initial proposal. Working with Matt and Daniel in county government, our partners, we were able to bring that that bid amount down to roughly $8.2 million approximately. That's a savings of the original planned facility, which is roughly the same square footage of 45%. Which is really amazing if you look at what the building is capable of providing and what the investment for us would be long term. And so I think that's just an amazing figure from where we started to where we are. I don't think that we would be able to build or design a building of this type at any point in the future for a cost any less than what it is. So despite being in the midst of some trying times, I think if we are visionary in our approach, if we're looking forward to the future, if we are trying to plan strategically for quality and life enhancements, I do think that this is an opportunity that deserves consideration by the court. I really appreciate all 6 magistrates and you, Judge, and Greg, the time and effort that you've put into talking with me on multiple occasions. And we would like to recommend that we accept the low bid from Scott Murphy and Daniel in that full amount, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions.
Okay, we have, pardon me? Before you leave, I'm going to go ahead and read this in case anyone has any questions about this. I'm going to move, if there are no objections, to number 25 up on the agenda to accept the lowest bid and selected alternatives in the amount of $8,284, $8,284,240 from Scott Murphy and Daniel for the tennis multi-purpose facility at Buchanan Park. And now, are there any questions? I'm sure you all have questions. Maybe you've gotten them all answered before, over the past week or so, but yes, sir.
I have a couple, just to I think we discussed these in the past, I want to make sure I understand the answers I heard some time ago.
Yes, sir.
Financial commitment from the tennis association, is that secured, all the naming rights and all that stuff? Is that a done deal? I know part of the projection we talked about was creating some revenue for naming rights, court rights, and that kind of stuff.
Just to be completely transparent, the pandemic has caused some changes in that. We currently, and Bobby and Martina, correct me if I'm wrong, but we do, as of yesterday, have 4 committed court sponsors at the $25,000 rate. We have two racquetball court sponsors in the amount of $5,000 committed. Title sponsorship, the other 2 court sponsorships are still yet to be determined, but we are working to try to secure those. Our goal would be is by the end of the project build process that we would have the full title sponsorship, the remaining 2 court sponsorships for the main courts, and then an additional racquetball 2 court sponsorships completed for that. So at this time, we have 4 court, 2 racquetball, no title, and we're working on 2 additional court sponsors.
And the length of those sponsorships are, we said, I've heard 5, I've heard 10. What is the length of that?
10-year commitment.
10 years, so.
Our goal is at the beginning, and the pandemic has, just to be honest, I mean, it's kind of messed things up a little bit for people. We are confident as a partner group dedicated to, providing the service. We feel, you correct me if I'm wrong, that within that 12-month period, we can secure the remainder of the sponsorships. We were hoping to get a cost recovery first year, not to cover the whole $479 of operational cost. We were always hoping to get that 10% for that first year cost recovery. So, even in the beginning when we had discussions with everybody, it was never going to be full. It was always going to be a percentage. And so I think as we go through, thankfully to Matt and to Daniel, in designing the building, there are some features that are going to provide some long-term savings. One being the LED light. Long-term, that's going to be a huge savings. It's a big building. Same lighting outside on the tennis courts. I think that we have built the building to be a cost savings as much as possible for a 9,300 approximate square foot building. But that's where we stand with the sponsorships. It would be subsidized, 90% by tax-paying dollars.
You have another question?
I have a couple more if I might.
All right.
Allow me to. The other part was with this partnership we have with the tennis community, use of the facility, who determines and how is that working as far as who gets what, and timelines for the public to use versus their association to use, and who makes that determination? Has that been discussed yet? Has that been worked out yet about, this use of this facility?
Back when we started working with the Southern Kentucky Tennis Association, we had an approximate schedule based on normal time of what their usage might look at. Our primary goal is to use the facility as a tennis facility for the tennis community. With their numbers that Martina and Bobby gave us yesterday, they actively have league programs that are currently going on. With that, they're greatly reduced because of the pandemic. We would work directly with them. The building has an office that would be for their organization to utilize, and we would work directly with them to ensure that if they had league activities, just like with our other 13 youth sports, they would have the priority of use for this facility. With that being said, we are actually booking tournaments, because we will get out of the pandemic, right? We're going to get out of it. We're booking tournaments now for the middle, early part, talking spring of 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. So the demand is gonna be there. It's just gonna be a matter of we're all just gonna have to adapt how we do things a little bit in the meantime. And so to answer your question, fully committed to working with Southern Kentucky Tennis to meet their needs. They also understand that there are going to be weekends throughout the year that we're going to use the facility for large-scale tournaments, basketball, volleyball, and if we have, summertime is nice. We have nice mild summer like we've had the last week. Temperatures are like early fall. and we need to open up some additional gym space, then we will have that conversion piece already built in. And so by having that flexibility, as demand changes in the community, as the community grows, as you know, their sport continues to grow. Again, right now there's 4 sports that are growing like crazy, not including water sports, such as canoeing and kayaking, just because people can naturally socially distance. You know, I think that the long-term effect of the pandemic from a recreational side, not just from Warren County, but looking at the national level, from National Recreation and Parks Association, is there's going to be a shift in how people recreate, how people enjoy their free time. And so we think that this may be a strategic time to make this investment because we feel that we're going to be able to meet that ever-changing demand.
And just one final question from me to you.
Yep.
Is the 8.284,240 bid does not include the extra parts for interior use, or is that included, the 700 something thousand, is that inclusive in what we're approving today?
Yes.
Okay, that's all included, everything's included in one shot?
Yes, sir.
And the 6 outdoor courts are a part of this project too?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's,
Okay. Any other questions? Spark Foreman.
Well, I have a question, but just going through, looking through everything, Ron's good question on the last part. I mean, having all of that be able to be purchased through the state price contract will help keep the price down. But Chris, I appreciate all the hard work and due diligence you've done on this to do it. I have no problem. I've told everyone I would never voted for this. No offense to anyone if it was a tennis-only facility, and it's a lot. But the multi-purpose part of it and the growth of this county and what we're doing is to be able to A, take care of the tennis community, but B, take care of all the citizenry with a multi-purpose facility of this type is really important. And I appreciate the hard work of your department, appreciate the hard work of Greg's department, financially looking for this and ensuring that the county's in good financial order to be able to do this. And again, a lot of sometimes large numbers, but you have to realize in government over 20 budgets, it's able to be handled, 20 years of budgets. So thankfully we don't have to write a check today for it, but when you're able to do bonding, and especially the rates that are so low right now and the construction cost is so low, we would never get this facility done cheaper. So but actually Chris has done a yeoman's job on this as usual. Is a great compliment to this county, and so I want to just publicly thank him for the hard work on this.
I have one additional question if I
Yes,
might.
Squire Cumming.
Just want to put it on the record that Greg and I talked in detail about the financial side of the implications for Warren County, and he believes that this is something that we can do without affecting other departments, other things other needs that we have for Warren County, because, you know, it's great to do this facility, but making sure we have everything else that we need is an important thing. So I just want to at least, put it out here in the public forum that we've had a good discussion, and I'm comfortable that the budgetary and the financial obligation that we potentially are taking here is covered, and that doesn't put the county at risk for supplying all the other needs that we have within the county. So
Right. It's a big bite, but it's half the bite that we talked about it in the beginning, and interest rates, bond rates have never been this low ever.
And the materials are going to continue
And
to go up.
materials are definitely going to go up, but it's a competitive environment out there right now. Do you have anything else, Squire Lawrence? Squire Payne? Anything else, Squire Gorman? Yes, sir.
What would you think the completion date would be on this?
On the bid package, correct me if I'm wrong, Dan or Matt, I believe it's 11 to 12 months. So my hope and prayers is that we navigate the next 11 to 12 months, we get out of this pandemic, we have that strategic vision, and if all goes good, Lord willing, we could have a new facility available for public use sometime around Christmas in December of 2021. You correct me if I'm wrong on that.
I can say that because of the pandemic, Chris and I have talked, and I was not really thinking that we should do this right now, but with talking with Greg and Judge and all, and other folks, I think it is a thing to do. And thank you, Chris, for, I know this has been a year-long project or longer for you to put together, and thank you for all you do.
I'd just like to say one thing. It has really not a lot to do with me as much as it does so many people that aren't able to be in here today. All of our staff, Bobby, Martina, all of the tennis community, and really the whole community that came out. If you all came to those feasibility study, those public nights, I mean, we had lines out the door, and it was absolutely amazing the response that we had back. And the company from Nashville they were amazed at how many people in our community came out that had interest in the quality of life that we're trying to enhance here. And so my thanks goes to all of them. And I really appreciate you all taking the time. We've met a lot. I've tried to give you all the facts. I always try, you know this, I tell it to you all a lot. I try to play that neutral middle and try to do the very best I can to make, positive, real recommendations to you all every time. And if it's something that we don't feel is strategically good, I'll always be upfront and honest with you all and Greg and court and the citizenship about that. That is what we're here to do. But thanks to a lot of folks that aren't here with us today, that are in hopefully watching in TV land. But a huge thanks to Bobby, Martina, Chad, Nate, and the local tennis community for really, really, really putting their foot forward to support us and get us the information that we need to make this work. And then the two gentlemen behind me, Matt and Daniel, just ask them outside of court. He calls me all the time. Just the amount of time that they spend talking to me to help me navigate different questions. And then to Greg, Greg being able to take time with me. He goes over my budget. He asks questions every year. And as a department head, I know he's a busy man, but that means a lot to have somebody that really pays attention, that's engaged with the process of at least, our department. I know he does the same for the others. And I also know my place. I'm part of the bigger county county government family. So I'm just one arm of that, and I fully support all efforts being made for others. And I understand, as I've told Greg and you and the court members, that I don't want to make decisions that are going to hurt the family, but I definitely want to make decisions that are strategic and give you all recommendations that are viable and that are beneficial to the community as a whole.
You do a great job, Chris, and I appreciate all your hard work on this and everything else that's going on. All of you all, I know all the other department heads recognize as well the value of the Parks Department and Recreation programs to all their various departments. The sheriff is not going to be quite as busy with law enforcement if you guys are keeping people busy in recreational activities that are busy with goal-oriented team sports. And I think that everyone recognizes the value to corrections, to law enforcement, and everything else, and to the quality of life. This is a quality of life feature that I hope will make a great deal of difference for the next 100 years here and help our community to continue to thrive and grow. That being said, do I have a motion to approve, to accept the lowest bid with selected alternates in the amount of $8,284,240 from Scott Murphy and Daniel for the tennis multi-purpose facility at Buchanan Park? Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Gorman. Any further discussion or questions? Yes, sir.
We probably need to contact Scott Murphy about maybe sponsoring a court.
Good thought.
I'll pull Zach aside and we'll have a discussion.
All righty. You wanted that on the record, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All righty. No other questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, motion passes.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Court.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thanks, Martina and Bobby. Y'all are welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but I figured you probably have better things to do. Thanks. We actually intentionally asked most of the tennis enthusiasts not to come today, just because of the nature of the state we're in right
A
now.
lot of them wanted to.
Yeah, I'm sure. Thank you, Chris. Okay. Item number 8 on the agenda is to approve the second and final reading of ordinance 2035, rezoning property located at 6005 Old Scottsville Road from agriculture to residential estate and single-family residential, and containing approximately 45.0850 acres presently owned by the estate of Jack Bates, Patrick Bates Administrator, with VISAAC LLC as the applicant. Motion by Squire Cummings to approve, second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Mr. Mosley.
Judge, members of the Fiscal Court, I'm Carol Mosley from Alberton. I've been there since 1965. I've seen a lot of changes, and I want to commend this court for all that you've done. And I look at the park system, and I just go, praise God for what we have, and especially down at Romanza Johnson Park, and see all the things that's going on there and the people that's involved. And this particular piece of property, like other property out there I've known, and I've had the privilege of driving by and looking at new houses being built as up on Breckenridge Court, as they're doing that now. And I'm always excited about seeing new growth. But for this particular piece of property, to make 171 lots, and 71 of those, or 167 lots, I'm sorry, and 71 of those lots have a frontage on the lots of 50 feet. And as I expressed to planning and zoning, it concerns me the density that we're looking at. 50-foot lots to build a house on with a one-car garage, and I'm just going, my gosh, what are we going to have, like you say, Judge, down the road? And that's my concern. I know it's not going to change the way you vote today, but I am saying that it does concern not only myself, but a lot of other people in our community, that we're looking at this kind of density and this size lots. And, 71 of those lots are 50-foot frontage, 62 are 60-foot frontage, and 34 are 70-foot frontage. And I just think that it's too small lots. It doesn't fit with anything else that's in our community. And I just wanted to share that with you and say thank you for the opportunity. And I hope and pray that this is not a trend that we're looking toward in the Alberton community to make this size lots. I know this is a done deal, and we are appreciative that it's not a whole lot of apartment complexes, but this does concern me. I just wanted to share that with you.
Okay, this is the second reading. Everyone, you all have the information, I think, from last meeting about the vote and planning commission and so forth. So, are there any questions you have, Brother Mosley?
Again, it's good to be here today. It's good to just be in the fiscal for a week.
It's always good to see you.
Hey, likewise, and thank you again for this opportunity. And like I say, I'm just so excited because when you look at Warren County, I don't think we're second to anybody. You know, I think we just excel in industry and all the other areas. And I want to say again, thank you for your consideration. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Brother Mosley. Appreciate you.
Judge, if I may add one quick thing.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, this is out in my district.
Yes.
And I've gotten a lot of calls about this, and I hear his concern. However, one of the things, being in real estate myself, I can tell you that the real lack of product out there for an affordable house in that area to go to Greenwood and so forth, the demand is extremely high. So I hope this subdivision is going to ease a lot of demand for product out there. And although it's not what everybody wants, this is, in my opinion, this is a viable project, and it was voted 9-2 with the commission to pass this. So I think it's, you know, like you said, it's something we should do.
I think from what I read, the need for affordable housing and the quality of the homes, and the fact that we paid a great deal of money to get the sewer connectability out there, with the idea that people would connect on. And of course, obviously, they're going to be smaller lots when people have to pay the little extra money for the sewage and sewer taps and so forth. But it allows you to reduce it, and from an environmentally safe perspective. But I totally recognize as a property owner how everything that is near you affects you. So I appreciate your position on this. Are there any other questions or comments? Okay, we have a motion and a second. If there are no other questions, please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Brother Mosley. Item number 9 is to approve Woodburn Volunteer Fire Department's financial statements for July 2019 through June 2020, and profit and loss budget overview for July 2020 through June 2021.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 10 is to approve the June 2020 Treasurers Report.
So
We have a motion by Squire Payne, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 10 is to approve the June approve the determination in the amount of $19,995 to AlertSense for the yearly contract price for the AlertSense notification system. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Gorman. Discussion, questions? Let's call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 11, number 12, approve termination in the amount of $6,815 to MASA for splash shields for football helmets, and this is due to the COVID-19 for the Parks Department.
So moved.
3 quotes were obtained. This is the lowest and best quote. We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter. Second, Squire Young. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes,
Item number 13 is to approve the 211 report for July 2020. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 14 is to approve the determination in the amount of $4,437.80 to PMP Telecommunications for a secured access entry to the administration building at Griffin Park. This is inside and outside. There were 3 quotes received. This is the lowest and best quote. This is due to COVID pandemic. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 15, approve emergency determination in the amount of $1,888.89 to Young's Electric Heating and Cooling for generator repair at the, as the repair was beyond the scope of the generator maintenance contract. And this generator is part of the mobile command post that has been used at some of the COVID testing sites. Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
The next item is to approve Order 2015, reappointing Gary Dillard and appointing Christine Souders to the Council on Aging at the Barren River Area Development District.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions?
Gary being honored is Gary fits the bill for aging, so.
Say that?
I said Gary fits the bill for aging, so that would be an appropriate appointment.
Well, I'll tell you what. Well, there are a number of us that do, but but I'll tell you, he's been a great member. I don't think he's missed a meeting, and he's one of these guys, when you appoint him to a committee, he takes it seriously every time, and he attends all the meetings, and he makes reports as to what's going on, so I can actually keep up with things, which a lot of board members you don't hear from. But, all right, we have a motion and a second. We have any discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're familiar, you know Christina, don't you? Christine's,
I would never, I would never demean her in any way.
I know, I was just giving you a chance to get your butt kicked here.
Smarter than I look, Judge. Thank you very much.
All righty. Next item here is to approve first reading of ordinance 2036, establishing Weatherstone Boulevard, Cornerstone Drive, Eagle Stone Lane, and Seagraves County? Is that- Seagraves Court. Thank you, Brenda. Located in Weatherstone subdivision, Phase 2, as county roads, and authorizing maintenance thereon and setting speed limits thereon. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 18 is to approve emergency order for the purchase of a Creative Star Artemis kiosk in the amount of $1,549.99 to Staples. Kiosk will be used to take temperatures for the folks entering the courthouse due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Is this the one that your IT guys Sheriff is hooking up.
Judge, it's my understanding that Ronnie had set that piece of equipment up downstairs at the middle door.
Right.
And so the idea is to tie into our system, and that I have no idea how to operate this thing. Ronnie and our IT folks have been talking about it, but when people come in, it is ability to do some face recognition and take temperatures right there, and then it might be something we can do for employees.
It'll automatically take their temperature to keep our deputies from having to
Yes, sir.
put
That's-
that gun up to their head.
That's correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, sir. That's it.
It probably will make people feel more comfortable coming in rather than having to individually be
Yes, sir.
taken. But I've read a lot about all these different ones, and I hope this one works because we've got other places that we can use it. I hope it works well.
Yeah, this would be a good test run, so I think Ronnie's done a tremendous amount of research on it, so just working with our IT company to figure out how they can integrate that system in.
Great. Thank you, Sheriff. I appreciate it. We have a motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Young. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 19 is approve order 2016 surplusing a 2011 Ford Crown Vic for the Warren County Sheriff's Office and grant judge executive authority to sign certificate of title.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 20 is to approve a determination in the amount of $2,949.22 to Kenny Outdoor Solutions to service 7 Sand Pros in the Park Systems fleet. This is a single source provider. I have a motion to approve. Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Payne. Any questions? Being none, please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire McWhorter.
ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 21 is to accept the lowest responsive bid from Pro Lawn and Landscape in the amount of $93,000 for outsourcing all weekly mowing, trimming, spraying, shrub pruning, weed removal, weekly trash collection, and debris cleanup for the Warren County Parks Department. This is a 2-year contract, and there were 2 other bidders, and they were the only one that had responsive bids that met all of the bid specs.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Cummings. Any other questions, or you need any further explanation? Okay, please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 22 is approve judge executive signature authorizing grant agreement with the Bowling Green Warren County Regional Airport to reconstruct and rehabilitate terminal apron design only and all documents associated with the grant. This grant was through the U.S. Department of Transportation, FAA, and it's no cost to Warren County. Motion to approve by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 23 is to approve a determination in the amount of $392.90 to Peak Plumbing for faucet replacement through the Warren County Park system. This is due to COVID-19 pandemic. There were 3 quotes received, and this is the lowest and best quote.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Young. Discussion or questions?
Is this something recoverable through COVID? I mean, are we gonna have any possibility for the,
Yes, sir.
okay,
We're trying to do that with the next item as well.
okay.
We anticipate that to be part of our submission through the CARES program, CARES Act. Thank you very much. Any other questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire McWhorter.
ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 24 is to approve the amended portable toilet sanitizing contract with Caveland Environmental for the remainder of the term, which expires 11/28/2021, in the amount of $21,978 for all sanitizing and portable hand washing stations needed at various park locations due to the COVID virus for the Warren County Parks Department.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Gorman. Yes, sir.
Judge and Magistrates, by doing this, this will allow us to have, we will have hand sanitizing units at all of our regional playgrounds. We will have hand washing stations at all of our regional parks and community parks. And we're also being proactive. We will have sanitizing stations, both hand washing and hand sanitizing for youth football, which we do plan on playing this year, as well as all of our fall sports. So we're one of the only communities within the Southeast that has made an investment, a considerable investment over the past several court meetings to basically have hand sanitizing, hand washing stations, not including the stations we put on dugouts, fences, and community access points throughout all of our parks. So we really appreciate your all support with that, and we've had some really good positive feedback from the public. They appreciate what we're doing to try to keep the kids safe.
Chris and his staff have been very diligent about looking after the safety of everyone, and been reluctant or cautious about opening up the playgrounds because it requires such an extraordinary amount of looking after, disinfecting, and making sure that the kids and their parents have the ability to sanitize, wash their hands, and so forth. And I'm proud of the great job that he and all of his staff are doing out there. If you have anything else, Chris, you're okay. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do you have any further questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 26, already got 25, so 26 is to approve first reading of ordinance 2037, authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and Stewart Farms.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 27 is to grant authority to advertise for a human resource coordinator for Warren County.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Being none, please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this one, I think you all have the paperwork for it, but I don't know if it made it on your actual agenda or not, but it's to approve order number 2017, appointing Tim Canali to the Warren County Water District Board of Commissioners. This is filling the unexpired term of Joe Taylor. I don't know that all of you were aware that Joe Taylor had resigned for health reasons, and he was a good member for a long time, and certainly we're going to miss him. But Tim, I think, will do a great job looking after
Make a motion,
everything.
to accept Tim.
Motion by Squire McWhorter. Second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the claims. Will the treasurer please present the claims to the court?
General Fund, $498,159. Road Fund, $54,446. Jail Fund, $284,840. E911 Fund, $8,952. And Stormwater Fund, $14,126. Be happy to answer any questions.
Make a motion to pay the claims that submitted.
Motion by Squire Young to pay claims as submitted. Second by Squire Cummings. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Abstain.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Before we have the department head reports, wanted to bring your attention to our guest here who was with us last meeting. Elton Thomas is the field representative for Governor Beshear, who's here with us today, and you're welcome to say or complain or anything you want to, Mr. Thomas.
Pleasure, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Just giving you updates. The state fair, if y'all saw about that, they're going to be for participant only. You're also aware, Judge, your CARES funds have been released and notified you about that on behalf of the Department of Local Government. There's going to be a 90-day extension rolling for driver's license, so we're going to slow everything down due to the uptick that's going on with the COVID for the most part. Price gouging is going to be strictly prohibited. Do understand that, so the executive order is going to be in place, so there won't be anybody breaking the law about as COVID increases. And we thank you so much. As y'all know, the school's about to reopen back up. Please continue to wear your mask and to proper, appropriate social distancing. And I do understand the stress with the parks and recs. The governor is tracking that and take all proper precautions because of the kids and whatnot. That's all I have, Judge.
I appreciate so much the great working relationship we have with you and with governors and Department of Local Government as well. And I appreciate you being here. You're welcome to come back, especially if good news. You can come back every day, but
I always got good news. I don't do anything bad. I always got good news. Thank you all so much for having me.
thank you so much. Brother Mosley, did you have anything else you wanted to share?
I just appreciate everything that all of you do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All righty. Mr. Mitchell, do you have anything you'd like to?
I just came to see what y'all do.
Okay, all right. Okay. Sheriff Hightower, do you have anything you'd like to share with us today?
Since we're bringing some good news, I know that I shared with you the other day that we had sent 4 vehicles up to Enterprise, some older
Yeah.
vehicles. And so through that process, we got an email the other night. 2 of the 4 have sold, and in the estimated value of what they thought, what they had built in was about $6,000 for each of those, and the 2 brought almost $24,000. So we're hoping that the other 2, which have a little bit more mileage, will bring anywhere from $8,000 to $11,000. So hopefully about $40,000 will come back of gain applied towards the other vehicles that we had already purchased. So that's kind of a good thing. It's a great thing. And then our 4 academy recruits that were sent home as a result of COVID from the academy, they went back this past Sunday night. So now they've completed this week, so they have 9 weeks left in their academy training until we'll get those back out and then get those in the PTO program for their training for the next 3 months. So we're hoping that sometime around Christmas, they will be coming out on their own. So it's a long process for that, but we're excited about them as well. And we hired one other police deputy, and so Tyson Wade is going to be kind of over at the Justice Center helping out until we can get him a spot into the academy as well. So excited about those things. So thank you all. Any questions?
It's good to get a pleasant surprise like that, isn't it?
Absolutely, Judge. Absolutely. We'll take them all day long. Anybody got any questions?
Any questions for the sheriff?
I've got a vehicle to sell, if the sheriff could sell that for me as well.
Yeah. We'll get that taken
Drop
care
it
of.
off today.
And I believe that everything over at the parking structure is going much better, and so we haven't had near the issues we did have. So I've had several positive comments from Sandra, and her not having to clean near as much stuff up, and just some of the tenants over there are much happier as well. So.
They should be, yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you all.
Okay. Thank you, Sheriff. Okay, Ms. Yates, are you on there? Do you have any questions? Okay, I'm guessing she's not, or doesn't have any questions or comments. Jailer Harmon, are you on there? He's not, okay. Mr. Comer, you have anything else you'd like to share?
Judge, just one other thing. I'd like to introduce Jade. Gabriel? Great. Okay. I struggle with last names. But Jade has been on our team now, and she has been running our night crew out at Basil Griffin Park. And she is actually doing her fall internship with us through WKU. She has some amazing ideas, and she presented those to us a couple days ago. And we're going to approve her ideas, and hopefully at the parks in soon-to-be times, you're going to see some really cool things, especially around our lakes and other water access points that Jade is going to be working on and putting out. And I'm going to let her talk to you about that here in coming weeks. But she's doing an outstanding job. We're blessed to have her, and thank you for all you're doing.
Great. We're proud to have you. Proud to have you here today, too. Okay. Mr. Moore, do you have anything? He muted himself. I believe he's... Are you on there, Josh? Okay. We'll move right along. Mr. Young, are you on there? Mr. Pearson, I think, could not be on here today. Mr. Brandstetter?
No, he won't be either.
He won't, okay. Mr. Appling?
Yes.
All right.
Everything going well, Judge.
Oh, good. Good. Staying safe?
I'm safe.
All right. Thank you.
Everybody working well.
Good. Mr. Peterson?
Thank you, Judge.
Glad to see you. No, nothing to report?
No, sir.
Nothing to complain about?
Development's still coming through, as you saw from the agenda item earlier. So I think we're very fortunate here.
We are indeed. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah.
Mr. Lackey, are you on there? No. Mr. Markham, I don't believe is on. Okay. Chief Hamilton, are you on here?
He sent me a text and want me to share with you all if I could. Two things I'm going to show you. I'm watching but don't have microphone again. Only thing to report is all Warren County Fire Departments went through ISO testing over the last month, and the results should be coming in the next 4 to 6 months. Additionally, he wanted me to share that the 4 new fire engines for Browning, Alberton, Smiths Grove, and Richardsville are expected to be delivered within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's great. I'm really excited about that. And I think most of the ISO inspections, and everything went really well. So I don't know how much more we can expect. We've got pretty good ratings on all of them. 2 or 3 of them could improve a little bit. Heck, if they all improve, that's great. But they've all made the big jumps from 10 to 9 to 7s, and most are 6 and a couple of 5s. So we're those have improved premiums drastically. But I don't know of anyone who'll complain if they're improved a little bit more in those areas. So we're very thankful for the great job that the chiefs do, and then all of their firefighters. They really have extraordinary value to our community.
Citizens of Warren County are blessed for what all they do.
Oh, they are, and I think most people take it for granted and don't realize how important they are and how much value the fire protection from the volunteer fire departments means to every one of them individually, to their pocketbooks if nothing else. All right, are any of the other chiefs on here? Chief Justice, Chief Duckett? Okay. All right. Squire McWhorter, you have anything that you'd like to share this morning?
All is good, thank you, sir.
All right. Squire Young?
Same here, Judge, just glad to be back. Want to remind everyone to continue to wear your mask, social distance, and help us get the numbers down.
My bad. Squire Cummings?
Again, just want to go back and thank all the Warren County employees. Everybody's doing their job every day under these trying circumstances. And I especially want to shout out to the Parks Department, because Parks is one of the places where we feel normal again. When things start happening for the citizens and they get a chance to get back to some sort of normalcy, it helps their mental health, and I know that Chris and his staff did a tremendous job protecting the folks of Warren County, but the fact of getting back and playing ball and doing things in a normal capacity has significant mental and physical rewards to the citizens of Warren County. So
It really does, and I think if everyone will remember to wear their mask, it'll make the difference as to how much more time you're going to be able to spend with your kids at the park, or keep business going, keep your jobs, keep active, and make a living, save your businesses. And it's so simple. Just wearing a mask, keeping your distance from people makes the difference. Those are two, that and washing your hands frequently can allow us to get back to a real feeling of normalcy in a short period of time if everyone will do it. Squire Gorman?
Judge, just good to be here. I'll echo all those things. We just have to continue to be diligent. I still, as an internal optimist, think we're more than halfway through this, and I hope that's true. A lot of great things are happening, but there's no need to start slacking off now. Just keep your distance. Wear a mask and limit the people you're around for sure. I want to unfortunately tell you that Squire Lawrence and I had a bet, and I lost, and it was about whether Bob Appling would know how to use a Zoom call or not, so I'd like to apologize to Tom and Bob. And also, I'd like to wish a happy 4th birthday to a great constituent in Squire Payne's district, Emery Rose Parish. Next week will be 4. So
She's 4.
4 years old. But
Happy birthday.
yeah, be great.
Squire Lawrence?
Judge, I'm just happy to be back in the courtroom again, seeing everybody as always, and I'd like to really encourage everybody to maintain your social distance and wash your hands and wear your mask. It's 3 simple things, and it's a disrespectful to other people whenever you don't wear your mask, because you're the one projecting your particles onto them by not wearing the mask.
I agree. Squire Payne?
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Milliken?
Judge, on September the 13th of this year, God Volunteer Fire Department has 14 members who will be running to honor those fallen firefighters. And they run in full gear 100 flights of steps. And so about a year ago, Jason Duckett and I trained at PFT. I almost died. But it is really, really difficult. And I just was running it, and he's doing it in full gear. They are raising money. We're in the top 5 of everyone doing it. They have raised $360 so far. And if you will go to the Nashville Memorial Stair Climb website and donate under the Got Fire Team, this goes to the families of those fallen firefighters, and they do it, of course, in memory of Kyle Hendrick every year. So
That's
it's
amazing.
a fantastic. It is amazing that they have 14 members doing it.
It's amazing that anyone lives through it.
It is amazing. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So I'm proud of them.
Yeah,
They're
I
good.
am too.
They're good people. Nashville. I knew you would do that as I deleted. That's great. It's Nashville Memorial Stair Climb, Nashville Memorial Stair Climb, and you donate under the Got Fire Team. They've raised $360. Bowling Green Fire, I'm always proud of them as well. They've raised $390. But I see you, Bowling Green, and we're going to beat you because we're God Volunteer Fire. So. Thank you.
Mr. Burrow?
Thanks, Judge.
Ms. Hale?
Thank you, sir.
Our next fiscal court meeting will be Friday, August 21st, right here in the courtroom at 9 o'clock, unless there's a reason to go on Zoom. But as of right now, we're planning to be here Friday, August 21st at 9 a.m. for our next fiscal court meeting. Any other business to be brought before this body?
Move we adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Lawrence. All those in favor, please say aye.